Hello, CSFL world. We are back today with hopefully a very interesting episode for the GMs who are watching the league. Today, we're going to be completing the lottery for the 2012 CSFL draft live on audio here and on video here as we go through here on the channel. And of course, it's not going to be me drawing out the numbers. I'm joined by none other than last year's number one pick GM. Kairos from the Carolina Panthers. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. First time you've been on the CSFL one, I believe. I think you may have been on some other podcasts
Yep.
in the CSL world. Yeah, you've got a little bit of skin in the game, I guess, with this one today. But obviously, having the number one pick last year, you selected Cam Newton, and bit of a turnaround with the Panthers this year. How do you think your season's gone?
I think it went all right, all things considered. I'm still kind of learning the engine itself. I'm not a football expert by any means, but still just trying to figure things out. I think we've got a growing team though, so pretty happy about how things have gone.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have. And how from for the other GMs out there who are hoping to pick up the number one pick this year. I mean, you obviously picked up Cam Newton last year. Are you happy with how that's gone for you so far?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with Cam so far. He's a better passer than I was expecting at this point. I'm still trying to figure out ways to get him to run a little bit more, but he hasn't done much of that yet. But definitely looked like a good use of a top pick. So
yeah, and I mean, I think you can take a bit of comfort if you look across and see how a certain Mr. Vince Young has been doing for the Titans with as a running quarterback, to say that it is possible. And I'm sure that's where you'll aim to get Cam Newton, into that sort of MVP hunt eventually, and see how that goes.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah. So I mean, just looking through, let's just expand this out a little bit so we can see the actual names here on the right hand side. So I mean, you've got a little bit of a outsider's chance this year, when last year you obviously had the better odds, I believe, going into this. So I think perhaps before we go in and I ask you to pick some numbers between 1 and 97, it's worth probably us just recapping very quickly how the lottery works here in the CSFL for the new GMs who have joined through the season. So for those of you who are unaware, the way the lottery odds work, you essentially we take the teams who didn't make the playoffs and we look at the records, and we essentially start with the best record, who has one ticket chance into the to get the number one pick, and every win after that we add a ticket. So if you look at the Indianapolis, had the best record, probably unlucky to not be in the playoffs this year, really, at 10-6. You then look at some of the others, Kansas, Baltimore. They get an additional lottery ticket essentially, and we scale that up. So I guess the interesting thing is that what's good about this is that everyone has an opportunity to try and jump picks, and as we saw last year with the Broncos, it could really work in your favor. So the way we tend to do it in the CSFL is we put all the lottery tickets in, as you can see here. This is just an example. This is not the actual live numbers, so Kairos, don't start taking notes. The way we do it is we put it into a random number order, and we essentially give every single selection a number between 1 and whatever the final number is. In this year's case, it's 97 tickets. So the way we work this through is we essentially enter in a number. It will drive off what the team is and what the pick selection is going to be. So the way we do this is we start off with the number one pick and we work down. And so we'll try and get through the 20 selections. We'll keep an eye out to see if there are any duplicates. As you can see here, that I think the New England Patriots have got about 11% chance with their 3 picks, and I think they're possibly the only one who has actually got multiple picks in this draft. So that's slightly different to last year. So I mean, I guess looking through the teams, I think the one, Kairos, we can probably agree on is needing the most help is always going to be the team that's at the top here in Buffalo. But they've had the first non-winning season, I believe, in the CSFL, and I'm guessing they're probably hoping they'll pick the number one selection up.
Yeah, they definitely need it.
Yeah, I think they do, and the likes of Tampa Bay, Miami, still building through, and probably slightly improved on last year. I mean, Miami had a really good season last year, but they took a step back to get younger. Yeah, so I mean, I guess we're going to be hoping that the Patriots don't pick up a top 5 selection here. No offense, Rizzo, but your team's stacked anyway. You should have made the playoffs really. So yeah, should we kick off, Karis? And do you want to give me, I would just know what number you're going to select as the number 1 overall pick, and if there's any reason behind your selection for that number.
Okay. Let's start with my franchise player, number 1, Cam Newton.
So starting off number 1 with the number 1 pick because of Cam Newton. And okay, let's see what happens. It's in. Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness!
Wow, that is crazy.
I knew that was a mistake.
I tell you, Rizzo, if you're watching this either live or when you come back and view this later on today, maybe you really need to go and send Karis some love, because he's just pulled a rabbit out of the hat for you. So that pick selection had a 5% chance of taking the number 1 overall selection. And I think it's safe to say that that's going to really put New England over the top next year. I mean, I'm not too familiar in terms of some of the selections, but I'm guessing the likes of Julio Jones, Russell Wilson are going to probably be considered with that pick, you'd imagine.
Yeah, they've been talking about maybe moving on from Tom Brady. Who better to take over than Russell Wilson?
Yeah, wow. I'm stunned.
That's insane.
We've had a crazy start here. Should we go on to pick number 2, and hopefully Buffalo don't drop too far? What's your next number, and what reason are you giving for that selection?
All right, let's go with 59. That's Luke Kuechly's number.
Okay,
he's not in this draft, but yeah, he's not in this draft. I wish he was, but
well, maybe in the future one, I guess. Right, 59.
So let's see what happens there.
Let's see what happens. Cincinnati. Oh my goodness gracious!
I saw my Carolina there. I got excited for a second.
59. So Cincinnati have jumped up.
Okay, Cincinnati.
I'm trying to remember. I'm gonna have to look at their record, because I think they started. I think they started fairly badly, but they had quite a good run towards the end, if I remember right. Let me just double check whilst we're here. Cincinnati.
Their season looks a lot like mine, actually.
Yeah, a bit up and down, actually, to be fair. Yeah, probably very similar to Panthers. Won a few, one lost one, lost one. Kind of went through that weird pattern. I guess the positives coming away from the season was that they had some really big wins. They beat the Steelers, beat the Ravens, and beat the Cowboys. So beat the Steelers twice, actually, in their division games. Yeah, Cincinnati have jumped ahead. Wow.
That's already a pretty stacked division.
Yeah.
The AFC North. Because they were last in the division at 7-9.
They were, yeah. So. And I mean, to be fair, it's fair to say that the Ravens were pretty unlucky last year, really. I mean, this season, because they had a couple of injuries 2 or 3 games before the end, and they were comfortably in challenging for that wild card slot at least. So they were a bit unlucky there, really.
Yep.
Okay, right. Next number then. What are we going for?
All right. Should I keep going with my favorite Panthers?
Well, I mean, it's causing chaos so far, so let's keep it going.
All right, let's do it. 88, Greg Olsen.
88, Greg Olsen. Okay. Dallas have jumped into the top 3 as well.
Boy.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, the Dallas is another team that I've started really strongly and just faded away towards the end. They lost
destroyed us early in the
5. Yeah, lost 5 straight to end the season there. They were comfortably leading that division as well before then.
That's true.
Dallas jumps into top 3. Oh my goodness me! Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Miami, Minnesota. Whew. It's looking rough so far. What are we going for next?
All right. Let's go Thomas Davis, 58.
58. Okay. 58. Sticking in the high numbers here. Philadelphia have jumped up as well.
Philadelphia.
Wow.
Oh man.
This is causing chaos. I mean, when we looked at it last year, I mean, I think the top 4 or 5, I think the majority of them stayed around. I can't remember who the team was that jumped quite low, but
Yeah.
this is a complete change from last year. So
Yeah, we're getting all the
Philadelphia
middle
jumped up.
teams right here.
Yeah, it's all the middle teams. So it just shows that if you get a bit of luck, it can really go your way. Just looking at Philadelphia, Curris, I mean, they started really strongly. They only lost 4 games before their bye week in week 8, and then they went on this. They went 2-7 in the remaining 9 games there, which kind of put them into that middle record. Yeah,
I beat them with 4 seconds left in week 17.
yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. So yeah, I guess goal. Adding some ammunition to Michael Vick possibly at pick 4. Who knows?
Yeah, that's not going to be an easy team to beat.
No, certainly not. No. And I mean, if you look at that division now, so we've got Dallas and then Philadelphia, both with high picks coming into the next season. Redskins scraped through the top of the division with a .500, and the Giants sort of middle of the road as well. So that division could really turn upside down really after this. Should we go to the next pick?
Absolutely, yeah. All right. Let's change tracks a little bit. We'll go with a couple of my favorite Gamecocks now. 21, Marcus Lattimore.
21. I like it. So anyone who doesn't follow the college league, you should have a look at that today, because there was.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, I don't think he's in our draft this year, but.
No, I don't think he is.
I hope he is in the future. But
yeah, I'm sure he'll be in there. Right, 21. Right. Kansas have jumped up from selection 19 into the top 5. Oh my goodness!
Wow,
this is a brutal draft for that top selection teams. Wow.
Yeah, all the teams that need it aren't getting it. Wow.
No. I think we could see some draft day trades coming along here with some of these lower teams just trying to get themselves back up into selection here. So Kansas jumped up. I mean, they had a fairly okay season, I believe. They were 9-7, so nothing to sort of beat home around about. I mean, if you compare them to the Broncos last year, who jumped up into the sort of the top couple of picks, very similar in the same division. In terms of the Chiefs themselves, they started quite poorly this season, losing, only winning 2 of their first 6 games. And then essentially went on a bit of a winning streak towards the end to pull themselves back up to 9-7. So probably quite unlucky to not make a wild card slot in the end in the American. But jumping up to top 5 selection is certainly going to help them next year.
Definitely. Wow.
Wow. Your number selections have been interesting so far. So what are we going for next?
Let's go with number 7.
Number 7. Is there any reason behind number 7, or just we're trying to get some lower numbers in here?
Maybe that, but it's what Javen Clowney wore at South Carolina.
Okay.
I'm going to go with that.
Nice. Keeping with the shirt numbers. I quite like that thing this year. Yep. Number 7, Seattle. Okay, so still not the top 5 or so teams have not been picked, but Seattle were, GM-less until the end of the season. Started 6-0, I believe, and then went 10 games losses.
5-0, and then lost 11 straight.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow. This was actually a good team. It was just once the GM left, I don't think.
Yeah, so interesting.
I don't think they won a game after that. So.
No, so I mean, we the league put them on AI control, and I think the AI did a terrible job in comparison to the human GM who was there. So, new GM now in Seattle. Good start for them to have a top 6 selection here. So
it's a nice gift for the new team.
It is a nice gift, and right. Should we go for pick 7? We haven't picked any duplicate teams so far. That's impressive.
Yeah, I think I'm going to change up my strategy now.
Okay.
I'm just going to pick random numbers. Let's go. What's the highest number we got? 97. Let's go
97. Right. Let's see what that one is. Pittsburgh jump up as well out of the Jacksonville pick that they received for. I can't remember, who was it they traded? They traded someone who's half decent, if I remember right, to get that pick. Let me just double check quickly on whilst we're here. Bear with me. I know it's someone.
Pittsburgh from Jacksonville.
Was it Ellis? There wasn't Ellis. Was it Ellis? Was it Saints?
Dorsey?
Dorsey, yes. So Dorsey, yeah. There's a off-season trade, I believe, wasn't it, in the end? Yeah.
Yes.
So not too bad there, Pittsburgh. Dealing away to Dorsey, who is in defensive MVP territory this year again. But top 7 selection. I'm sure Pittsburgh's GM's going to be happy after just losing out to the Browns this year, who've just had a fantastic season, really. But that Steelers team is stacked anyway. So adding another top selection there.
Okay, to an 11-5 team. That's pretty good.
Yeah. What are we going for next?
Let's go 5.
5. Okay. Tampa Bay. Okay.
All right. Finally, one of the top 5.
Finally,
teams.
one of the top picks has jumped in. Pick number 8, though. I mean, dropping 6 picks in the end is going to be pretty difficult now. But still stayed in the top 10. That's the positive, I guess. But that team, 2-14 this year, really struggled.
Yeah.
So hopefully, any talent adding to that is going to help develop them. Cool. Pick number 9 then.
All right, let's keep it going. Let's go with 11.
11. Okay. Tampa Bay again. So that's our first duplicate. So we will chuck that up there. So we know we've selected that one. So okay, what are we going for instead of number 11?
Let's go at 30.
30. Miami. Okay, so here comes the top percentage teams jumping back in here. So Miami staying inside the top 10 as well. Had an interesting season this year. I mean, I know they traded away quite a significant amount of talent this year, really, in comparison to last year. They kind of had that Cinderella run, didn't they, last year? Didn't quite happen this year. Vernon Davis was out with a torn ACL and still rebuilding there, but slow and steady.
Yeah,
I guess
not a lot of wins there. Only 4 wins, 2 of them against the Bills. Yeah, I think they can use all the talent they can get. So that's a good pick.
Yeah, absolutely. So who's going to round out our top 10 then? Are Buffalo going to stay inside the top 10? That's the big question I've got in my head.
All right, let's see number 15.
Number 15. Okay. Buffalo. There we go.
Buffalo. All right.
Stayed inside the top 10. Yeah. Okay. Going to be difficult for them. Obviously, going 0-16. There's a fair challenge there. I mean, I get interested to get your view really, because obviously, I know you were looking at AP in the off season as well. Before he signed in Buffalo, or re-signed in Buffalo, I should say. Changing GM over the sort of off season really. The previous GM managed to get them into the playoffs the year before. Similar sort of team, really struggled this year. What's your view? I mean, they're going to pick up a top 10 pick here, which is going to help. They've still got some elite talent in places. On paper, this team shouldn't go 0-16 anyway next year, regardless of the selection here.
Yeah, looking at the roster, I think that team probably overachieved a little bit last year. I don't think this is a playoff team on paper. Just going down the list, seeing names. But I mean, there is talent here. I think AP I think he's good. Obviously, he's one of the best running backs in the league. But he's really, really overpaid. Might be tough to build a team around him. So maybe you try to find a trade. I know they were trying, but it's tough to match salaries at that price. So.
Yeah. It's tough situation for a new GM. Really, obviously he's inherited everything really for this team. So it'll be really interesting.
Dropping
to see
down
what they
that
do.
far is pretty tough.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do in the off season. As you said, they've good opportunity for the new GM to kind of build a strategy and work out whether he's going to go with this current unit that overachieved the year before. Obviously didn't do very well this year, whether he's going to, completely cut the book and try and start again and accept a couple of seasons that are going to be just as difficult as this year, really.
I think they've got at least one more year at the bottom.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, another team that I look at as that was similar was the if you look at the Rams. The Rams was a team that has been struggled in the first year, had a couple of changes in GMs. I mean, they're 5-11 this year, slowly improving, but yeah, possibly could get to that sort of record. I think next year, Buffalo in a good case scenario. So, should we move on to pick 11?
Sure. Let's see, what numbers do we have? Let's go 75.
75. Okay, back into the high numbers. That is Indianapolis, who have jumped up from pick 20. You have seriously done very well for these mid-tier teams. I mean, I'm not going to say anything, but the only mid-tier team you haven't really picked out has been yourself. So
yeah, that's not what I classify as good, but sure.
So yeah, Indianapolis. Right. I mean, I feel a bit sorry for them this year, and again like last year, because they last year they obviously made the playoffs, and I think they had a similar record actually. It was about 10-6, might have been 12-4 or something the year before. But this team is just an offensive juggernaut, isn't it? Really, got Peyton Manning and Adai in sort of the backfield positions. They've got some really talented wide receivers in the likes of Wayne, Garkin, and Colley. Adding an 11th pick selection here is really going to put this team back into contention for title. I think going in for the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah, definitely. They could go a lot of different ways here. Probably shore up that defense a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think a lot of the games that they ended up losing, it was just because. Well, no, I guess the games they lost, actually, their offense didn't show up. But there weren't any games where they scored like 30 plus and still lost. So
no.
There goes what I was thinking. But
yeah,
I think defense would definitely help them.
Exciting times for Indianapolis. I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, that's
a tough division too.
I mean, you look at New England and you look at Indianapolis, and I think talent-wise, they're going to be very similar at the end of this, hopefully. So let's go to pick 12. You're doing really well not getting the same team twice, by the way. I have to say, when we got to this point last year, we were struggling.
That's true.
Okay, so let's go for it.
Let's go 2.
2, okay. Keeping back in the low numbers. Seattle, which I believe has already been picked. So number 2 has been used. We'll take that over there. Let's have another go at a number.
Let's go 13.
13. Okay. Unlucky for some. Who's it going to be unlucky for? The LA Rams. Okay. The LA Rams have.
Okay, we were just talking about them. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. We were just talking about them. I mean, 5-11 this year, slowly improving. I think it's probably one of the least talented teams that we had when we started this league. A pick 12 selection is going to help them certainly. I mean, it's not as good as where they were in terms of the lottery odds, but I'm sure they'll still take that, staying just outside the top 10.
Yeah, that'll be a team to watch, I think. They have a little bit of cap room. They've got like 30 mil they can work with. They've got most of their team under contract, so they add some pieces in the draft and in the free agency. So
yeah, absolutely,
that should be interesting.
Yeah, so I guess you've picked number 13 for pick 12. What number are you gonna pick for pick number 13?
12.
12. Okay. Let's go for it. Okay, so New England have jumped up as well with their Atlanta pick into pick 13. Oh my goodness gracious! Wow. This team is.
I'm falling to 20, aren't I?
Well, at the moment, I mean, it could be going that way. I mean, I feel most sorry for the likes of the Chargers and Minnesota now at this stage. Because,
yeah, that's tough.
I mean, they're dropping at least 10 or so slots now. I mean, okay, I think we talked enough about New England. Let's go straight into pick 14.
Yeah, the more we talk about it, the more I get frustrated.
Yeah, exactly. if Rizzo ever finds out how to get this team operational and flowing effectively on offense, they're going to just walk away with this league, I feel, at this point.
Yeah, this draft is going to be great for them. Let's go 25.
25, okay. Minnesota, there we go.
All right.
Just talking about them, and they've been selected. So,
can we talk more about my team now?
So not quite the party Minnesota were hoping for, I guess, with a possible top 5 selection, but 5-11 this year. I mean, similar results to the season before. They knowingly went into a rebuild at the start of the CSFL. Yeah, I mean, interesting. We'll see how they develop going forward. But I know the GM is very committed there in terms of the rebuild. So, we'll see what happens with pick 14 for them.
All right, moving on. Let's go 60.
60, okay. Tampa Bay, who have already been selected.
All right.
60 has been picked.
Let's go 66.
66, okay. Minnesota, okay. We're getting some Videocast now. You're losing your run of form here, I believe.
More now. Let's go 45.
45. Buffalo, who have also been selected.
Yep.
So 45 has gone.
Let's go 4.
4. Miami. Have they been selected? They have. Okay. Miami.
Yeah.
Okay, we're firing through some numbers here fairly quickly.
Yeah. Let's see how many I can get in a row before we actually pick one down. 90.
90. Okay. New England via Oakland. I don't believe that. I do believe that one has gone.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Ignore me for that
I'm
one.
glad that
90
wasn't the other one. Imagine if that was the other New England pick.
I think
top 15.
Yeah. I think some people's laptops and PCs and mobile phones, if they're watching this, would have been thrown out the window at that point.
Okay. If you were gone already.
Yeah, I mean,
everyone in that division.
Chargers and San Francisco are probably in the same situation you are, I think, with your pick at the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
73. 73.
73. Okay. New England.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Just as we started, seriously, right? The CSFL gods are seriously not helping us here.
Top 15 pick.
Wow. So the New England now have 3, as you said, 3 picks inside the top 15.
Wow.
I can assure everyone who is watching this that we have not been bribed by the commissioner. Can I just throw that out there now? We have definitely not been bribed to do this. Wow. Seriously, like the Patriots in the NFL are a very lucky franchise and have had some incredible seasons and, hated by majority of NFL fans. I thought the CSFL would be different. Didn't you? I thought, it can't possibly be the Pats having the same luck.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's go 47.
47, okay. Cincinnati, who have also been selected.
Yep, that was the 2 pick.
Yeah.
Let's go 68.
68. Baltimore have jumped in.
Baltimore.
So had an unlucky season actually. I thought the team I most felt sorry for probably this year was the Baltimore Ravens. As we mentioned, they had some atrocious injuries. Let me just read them off to you quickly whilst we're taking a quick look here. But let me just tell you. So in terms of players who were, starters for them. So Flacco, their quarterback, obviously was out for 4 to 6 weeks. Linebacker Suggs was out for 4 to 6 weeks. Their center, Burke, was out. 3 wide receivers, and not just 3 wide receivers, 3 of their probably important wide receivers in Clayton, McGee, and Bolden, all ended up being out injured. So this team, just to put it in perspective, at week 11, I think they were, looking at, what's that? That's 6-4 roughly. They were looking really in a strong position for that division, and then went on and lost 4 of the remaining 6 games and end up with this terrible, middle of the road record that no one really wants to be in.
That AFC North is insane.
It is, yeah.
It's
going to be even more insane after this draft as well.
Yeah, there's 3 legitimately really good teams, and the Bengals aren't bad either. So
no.
That's
crazy.
And Cincinnati's adding the number 2 pick. So
yeah.
That entire division is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, I believe so. And I mean, I guess the
Wow.
positive is that they haven't dropped. They've jumped a couple of paces here. So nice to see that they're being slightly rewarded with playing to win and just having a terrible run of injuries, really. So
Yeah.
yeah, should we
All
go
right.
to the next pick?
Let's do it. Let's go 29.
29. Okay. Because already gone. My goodness me, that I don't want to ever see that New England Patriots fire Oakland ever again. Oakland, if you're listening, please do not deal the Patriots any more picks. I think is the way to go. Right,
Yeah. Let's go 95.
95, going high again. New York Giants have come in. Okay, so kind of dropped a couple, I believe. In terms of the Giants season, 7-9, they're a middle of the road team, like majority were really in this sort of pack that we're kind of looking at here. They had a really terrible start to the season, so they won the preseason games, looked good. They then lost the subsequent 5 starting games for this season, picking up their first win against the Packers in Week 6, which kind of rejuvenated the franchise. Really, they went on a fairly good tear, winning sort of 6 additional games that year, and only dropping 4 games, I believe, by the end of it.
Yeah.
A team that probably I would say next year are on the up. If I just look at this, even with pick 17 coming their way, got to make the most of Manning as well whilst he's around.
Right. Yeah, I think pretty good roster. Yeah, I'm looking through it right now. It's a pretty good roster. It could definitely be a playoff team next year.
I mean, having said that, Manning is actually out of contract this year, so I don't know whether they franchise tagged him or not. But might be a turnover in the off season.
No, Manning's got 2 extra years.
Oh, is he?
They might have given him an extension. Yeah, I think. He might be
Okay. Maybe I haven't seen that.
Yeah, he's got 2 years, 14.5 million.
Okay, cool. So they have secured him,
which
down
for a franchise
quarterback
is not bad, actually.
No, that's quite a good deal, really. So adding a bit of talent there is going to certainly help them next year to get out of that middle of the road. I mean, that National East is definitely all to play for. I mean, we know Philadelphia have got top 4 selection here, but I mean, any of those teams, the Redskins, Eagles, Giants, and the Cowboys, can all take that division next year, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, those teams were all really close.
Yeah, and I mean, Dallas is the one that stood out for me that I thought just had that drop off, but getting the top 3 selection.
And then they got the number 3 pick. Yep.
Yeah. Tell you've really done quite well for that division, actually, I'd have to say, this year. So if anyone's watching, for next year, in the National East, just make sure Kairos is on picking the numbers next year, because you guys did pretty well.
I'm probably never doing this again.
Well, I mean, there's 3 teams left. I mean, two are definitely cursing your name, which are the San Francisco and the LA Chargers, and then you've got yourself. So, I mean, you said earlier on that you were going to be pick 20. So far so good for that prediction.
Well, yeah, that's something. All right, let's go with that next pick. Let's go 44.
44. Okay. Miami. So they have already been selected. Let's put them over here. Let's have a go at another number.
53.
53. San Francisco. There we go. One of the teams has turned up. Yes, San Francisco, in terms of their season, 6-10, in a National West that was pretty much one of the most underperforming divisions, really, this year. All middle of the park, really. It'd be interesting to see what they do this year. I mean, I know they made some quite big decisions. I think they've made the decision to keep Smith around, their quarterback, for the foreseeable future. So had a fairly strong end to the season. They went sort of 4-2 in their last 6. So that's a positive way to end the season. We'll see how that turns out for them in the off season and what moves they make.
Yep.
Got 2 left. Are the Panthers going to be 20th?
Okay, let's see. 33.
33. No.
Hey.
So there
All
we
right, I got
go.
19. All right.
Pick 19. So how do you feel on that? Obviously, bit of a drop from
Not
your
good.
odds, but um,
uh, yeah, I hope we'll be able to find some good talent there.
yeah, I think
Hopefully.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, still rebuilding. I guess is it a case now of getting some ammunition for Newton, or is it a case of building the defense or building the line? I mean, what direction are you kind of most worried about in the off season?
Yeah, there's a few different ways. I've got some. I'm going to see where trades get me in the first, couple weeks of free agency and stuff like that. I don't have a lot of cap space, so I don't think I'm going to be able to fill out much of the roster in free agency. But I'll definitely field some offers for some of my top guys and see if anything comes of that.
Yeah,
But but yeah, I could target maybe a good second wide receiver potentially. That's one option. And then other than that, mainly just defense. Definitely need to build up my defensive line a little bit. I don't think I have any defensive tackles under contract. So yeah, that whole defensive line is pretty much a blank slate right now. And then as far as linebackers go, it's just Beeson. So
yeah, interesting.
There's a lot of holes there.
Yeah. I mean, as you kind of would expect for a team like the Panthers, who are, last year were the number one pick, had a slow start for the first season of the CSFL, and kind of expected because of the talent that was around. Yeah, it'd be interesting what you do. I mean, I guess the positive for you in terms of this year into the off season is that the salary cap is going up slightly, so you'll have some more flexibility, which will bring you in. Won't bring you in probably any real elite talent, but probably will help you fill out some depth positions that you kind of mentioned towards the end of the season you were a bit thin on the ground, so that should help that. I'd be interested to see what Carolina do. I mean, I'm really interested to see what you do with Cam really, and how you utilize him, as I said, because if I look at the Titans and how successful they've been with Young, I don't see any reason why the Panthers can't do the same thing with Newton over time. So yeah, going to be fun to watch.
Yes. Yeah, so I think I've got pick 19 and then one of the first picks outside of the lottery as well. So a little bit of talent to work with. I got the Jets first.
Okay, so, you just fell out.
I was really counting on I was counting on that being a lottery pick when I traded for it, but
all right.
New England couldn't get over the hump and then got all three of these picks, so that couldn't have gone worse.
Should we finish off the draft with pick 20 then? So as I said to last year with Josh who was on, let's just try and see how quickly you can get the number for 20. Just for a bit of fun, really.
Yeah, let's see it. 8.
Nope. Not that one.
81.
81. I think Josh did this in about 6 last year, so no pressure, but you kind of got to beat him.
Let's see if I can beat that. 74.
Nope. New England again. Can you stop please coming up here? Right. What have we got next?
93.
93. Nope.
6.
Yeah, you're kind of setting the record here now.
Let's go 85.
Nope. Poor old Chargers. My goodness me. They had no chance of me, really.
No. 61.
Nope.
Could you scroll down the list a little bit?
So I can sure. Let's do that.
Yeah. I don't know what's left now.
Still got quite a fair few, actually. I mean, last year we were scraping.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot left. 56.
Nope.
Uh, 22. New England again.
Let's not mention that.
Yeah. 94. That's what we're looking for Chargers. Right?
Looking for the Chargers.
Yeah. 72.
Nope.
35.
No.
Watch me pick every single number except for these 4, or however many they have. 10.
There we go. Look at that.
There we
We
go.
should have just
All right.
mentioned them. I think every time you mentioned a team and then picked a number,
I
that
should
team.
have mentioned that. I should have mentioned that for Carolina at pick 1.
Maybe you
That's
should
what I
just
should have
mention
done.
from pick number 1. I'm hoping for Carolina, and then just picked. You
Yeah.
know, just gone and thrown in number. What number was it for Carolina in the end? I can't even see.
33.
33. She just gone. Oh, I'm just going to pick number 33. I hope it's Carolina, and then you'd have got number 1 pick. That would have solved everything. Wow.
So that was a good trial run, right? So when do we start for real?
Yeah. This is just a dummy if anyone's watching. Really, you know, New England are not going to have the number 1 overall pick, but they unfortunately are. Yeah. I mean, your reaction on the order for this year, I guess. New England. Let's go New England aside because we've talked quite a lot about them actually.
Yeah.
Let's just go outside that. I mean, I guess. Yeah. Let's get. What's just your initial 30-second reaction to how it's looking so far?
Yeah, I think a lot of teams in the middle of the pack, except me, I think a lot of the middle of the pack teams are going to get, you know, just that little extra bump that could put them over the hump. I think that's a pretty good thing. But I think it's bad for the bottom end teams. Like, what was it? The Bills dropped down to 10. Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah,
so
that's tough.
You may or may not get like a complete franchise player at pick 10. You might, but the odds of that might be a little bit lower. So
yeah. I guess
maybe
the
not the best thing for the league, but
I mean,
it'll help the middle of the pack a lot.
Yeah, I think the positive is that it kind of hopefully cements that you know. I mean, Buffalo aside, I mean they just had a terrible season, unfortunately. But hopefully, it just cements that you know there's no point dropping to the bottom if you are a middling team because you're not guaranteed to pick up that franchise guy.
Yep.
You know, just do what.
And I guarantee every other contender hated this draft except for New England.
Yeah, just do what New England. Have a stacked team and play around with the playbook. And Rizzo knows I'm joking on this. He knows I'm joking. But my reaction is I feel most sorry for the likes of Tampa Bay and Buffalo and Miami. Really, are the 3 teams that. Unfortunately, I guess the positive is that they still ended up inside the top 10. So whilst they did drop, they're still in they didn't drop completely out of the top 15 or so. So I guess that's the positive. I think this for me, my initial reaction is that this is going to make some very interesting draft day situations because the likes of Kansas, Seattle, Pittsburgh might be happy with that selection, but the likes of Philadelphia, Dallas, Cincinnati, even New England with the 3 picks I could see some 3. Yeah, I could see some very interesting trade scenarios coming up now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. Kairos, it's been great to get you on the first episode here and get your reaction. Yeah, hopefully we'll get you on another one throughout the season as you start to develop Cam and the team, and we'll hopefully be talking about the Panthers and playoff hopes next year is what I'm anticipating. So best of luck with the off season.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.